I'm Lorna Willis, your go-to realtor in Kingston and area, and today I'm dishing out the scoop on the November 2025 real estate scene. We're diving into the big picture and then zooming in on Kingston, Loyalist Township, Greater Napanee, Stone Mills, Gananoque, and Frontenac County. I'll break down the numbers and decode what they mean for buyers, sellers, and investors alike. You're listening to the Kingston Real Estate Insider, your local lens on real estate in Kingston, Frontenac, Loyalist Township, Greater Napanee, and beyond. Let's get into it. Well, across Kingston area, we saw the market continue its late fall shift. Average prices of $613,000 is down from October and flat with last year. New listings are down 43.5% month over month, and active listings are down 13.3%. 185 homes sold in November, which is down 15% from last year. What this means is inventory tightened significantly, which is typical heading into winter. Prices held fairly steady overall, and well-priced homes continue to sell, though buyers definitely have more negotiating power than they did earlier in the year. Inside the city of Kingston remained very active, though slower than October. The average price of $606,000 is down 4.4% from October and 2.35% from last year. Active listings are down 7.4%, but they're 20.7% higher than last year. The average days on market of 27 is slightly faster than last month. And unit sales of 103 are down 18.9% over October and 17% over last year. Buyers looking in Kingston saw less new inventory hit the market, but well-priced homes sold efficiently. Sellers have fewer competing listings, which increase their own visibility. Napanee saw a quieter month. The average price of $567,000 was up 3.7% over October. New listings were down 41.8%, and active listings are down 12.6%, but they're even with last year. Unit sales of 13 is down 45.8% over October and 31.3% over last year. With far fewer sales, the rise in average price reflects the mix of properties sold rather than a surge in values. For buyers, slower sales means more room to negotiate, and for sellers, pricing strategically is essential. Loyalist Township continues to be one of the more balanced areas. The average price of $646,000 is up 13.2% from last month and up slightly from last year. New and active listings are down since October, but up year over year as we're seeing more new build homes coming on the market. Unit sales of 23 are up 4.5% month over month, but down 8% year over year. Drilling into Loyalist Township in Amherstview, we saw 11 homes sold with an average price of $621,000. In Bath, we saw 5 sales with an average price of $600,000. In Odessa, there were only 2 sales with an average price of $448,000. Homes in Loyalist moved quickly and prices held strong, particularly in Amherstview and Bath. In Stone Mills, rural markets behave differently, and Stone Mills is a good example of that. The average price of $649,000 is down 5% month over month, but it's up 12.4% year over year. New listings and active listings are down month over month, but there are 28% more homes on the market compared to November 2024. Unit sales of 7 is unchanged from last month and last year. 7 seems to be the lucky number in Stone Mills. So the takeaway here is with so few properties on the market, individual sales can influence averages significantly. So it's really hard to say that any changes in the average price are in fact a trend. The broader rural region saw typical late season cooling. So this really applies to North, Central, and South Frontenac. The average price of $567,000 was down 14.1% and down 11.2% over last year. Like many areas, the number of new and active listings fell month over month, but in total active listings, the numbers increased by 2% year over year. Unit sales of 23 was down 45.2% over October and 4.2% year over year. So Frontenac is diverse. There's everything there from lakefronts to hobby farms. So averages move around depending on what's selling. Fewer new listings and slower sales really reflect normal seasonal patterns. And let's look at Gananoque. Gananoque saw a big shift, but don't be fooled by stats. The average price of $612,500 is up 23.5% over last month and up 34.8% year over year. However, there were only 4 sales, and that number is down almost 64% from last month and 20% from last year. With only 4 sales, even a couple of higher end properties can really move that average price. New listings in Gan were down 55.2%, and active listings were down 15.6% over October. So if buyers in Gananoque have very little inventory to choose from, and so sellers are definitely benefiting from that scarcity. So what does this all mean? Well, for buyers, you have more negotiating power than you did earlier in the year. Fewer new listings means that you need to act quickly if you see a home that fits your criteria. We're seeing good, well-priced homes moving super fast. And pre-approvals are essential. Talk to your mortgage broker about locking in a rate. We just talked to a mortgage broker this morning who said rates went up slightly over the weekend, and now is a really good time to look at locking in. For sellers, what's happening? Well, serious buyers are still out there, especially in Kingston and Loyalist. With lower inventories, your home may stand out more. So many sellers have taken their listings off the market for the rest of the winter. Pricing strategy is still crucial. Overpricing will extend your days on market. Buyers won't even come to look at your home. If you'd like a breakdown of what these numbers mean for you, your neighborhood, your property, please reach out anytime. I'm Lorna Willis. I'm a broker with RE/MAX Finest Realty here in Kingston, and I'll see you with the next update. Hey, if this information has been helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning into the Kingston Real Estate Insider. Stay smart, stay local, stay ahead. Catch you in the next episode.